Right, so the past few days on stream, I think the most common question I've had since Vanguard has been out is, what is your opinion? I'm like more than happy to tell people what it is and like voice what I like about the game, what I don't like about the game. But my only problem is because I keep getting asked it so often on stream, I feel like I'm just repeating myself all the time. And I want to go into so much detail with it and stuff, but I don't want to just keep saying the same stuff over again, and anyone who's been watching for a while just to keep hearing it. So I thought the easiest thing to do would be to sit down, make a quick YouTube video and just list it all here, so then I can just make a command in my chat, and if anyone wants to know my thoughts, they can come here and find out. But if anyone just stumbles across this YouTube video on YouTube and doesn't know me through Twitch or anything, hi, welcome on in. Right, so the day I upload this, it should be a Friday, so it'll be exactly a week since Vanguard's come out. Since then, I haven't played the campaign yet. Still, I will get around to it at some point, but at the moment I've just been so obsessed with trying to grind out camos that I've just been playing loads of zombies and quite a bit of multiplayer too, which is a bit of a surprise because in older COD games I did genuinely used to like multiplayer and play it quite a lot, but for some reason in Cold War, I don't know, I didn't enjoy it as much as other games. I played it here and there, but just not that much. It was just mainly zombies for me, whereas with this game I feel like I've played more of Vanguard multiplayer in the past week than I possibly played the whole year of Cold War. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. So that's definitely a strong start. I really like as well, I must quickly mention before we go into multiplayer, which I'm just going to skim over a bit because a lot of my audience mainly watch me play zombies, and I think we'll be here mainly for my opinion on the zombies aspect of the mode. So we're just going to skim over multiplayer, but I am enjoying this mode so far, and I've been playing it a lot, so it's definitely worth a mention. So I love the different pacings that have been introduced: tactical, assault, and blitz. If anyone knows me well, they'll know that I'm just pretty much on blitz 24/7. I do play the others as well, don't get me wrong, but I just love it when multiplayer mode is so like chaotic. I love all like the smaller maps and stuff like Shipment, Nuketown, just all that kind of madness. That's the kind of multiplayer maps that like I get a thrill out of playing. So it's really nice to see the different change of pacing and people being able to like allocate it as to what they want. At the moment, I love all the multiplayer maps with a couple of exceptions. There's a couple I'm not too keen of, but that's just because I play terribly on them. Well, my favorites so far, I don't think any surprise to people who know me, Dome and Castle. I love World at War, it's my favorite game, so to see these I was absolutely thrilled, and every time they come up in the playlist I'm thrilled. And this house as well, which we currently have a 24/7 playlist for, which is awesome. I've been smashing that out. It is so good, and I'm looking forward to Shipment dropping as well on November 17th, I think it is. I know not everyone will be, because I do say quite a lot Shipment is great, and my Twitch chat, you know, some people agree, some people do not, so I don't think everyone will be as excited for that, but I'm buzzing for that. I think that'll be great to do camos on and stuff. And in terms of guns, I have to be honest, I haven't used that many yet because I've been going for camos and trying to get golds. So I've mainly been using the STG and the MP40, getting them gold. And I have used other guns, but it's mainly just things I've picked up off, you know, the ground if I've run out of ammo on the weapon I'm using and I don't want to die. So I have used a couple of other things here and there, but today I'm actually going to be starting a new weapon. I still don't know what yet. There's so many to pick from. And other than that, I honestly think that's just what we're going to go over for the multiplayer for the time being. If anyone wants to know any more like thoughts about multiplayer or anything, feel free to ask me in the comments or pop into my stream or whatever, and I'll be more than happy to talk about it a bit more. But I am going to move on to the main section now, which is zombies. And yeah, there's quite a bit to talk about, but try and get through it. So as most people know, there's not any round-based mode in this map. There's no main Easter egg, although that is coming at season 1, I think, or after season 1. I think it may be after season 1 actually. And no side Easter eggs unless you count the radios that are around the map. There are like these radios you can listen to that give you a bit of like audio, but a lot of people seem to be classing that as like intel, calling that intel. So I don't know if you'd really class that as a side Easter egg. Unfortunately as well, there's actually no Pack-a-Punch camo, which has been confusing me in game quite a bit. Like I'll be playing and I'll be like, oh my god, I need to go and Pack-a-Punch, I've got enough money to first tier pack, and then I forget I first tier pack like 2 rounds ago, but because the gun just still has like the base camo on and stuff, I just forget. So I really hope they do end up introducing a Pack-a-Punch camo at some point. It's not the end of the world not having one, but it would definitely be a nice addition to the game, so fingers crossed that comes at some point. And yeah, because this doesn't have a round-based mode, it is more of an objective-based gameplay style. It's very similar to Outbreak in a way that we saw to Cold War, but also with some changes as well, just to make it its own. We've got the armor system that also returns from Cold War, but it doesn't return in terms of the weapon upgrades that you could also do at the arsenal. Now the rarity tiers are actually based on the level of pack punch that you do the gun. Zombie health bars are back, the mini map is back, and field upgrades are back, but in the form now of artifacts, they're called. I still just am in the habit of calling them field upgrades, but they are technically known as artifacts. And the ones we have back are Energy Mine, Ether Shroud, Ring of Fire, and Frost Blast. Now, as soon as this come out, I popped on Ring of Fire straight away. I think a lot of us use Ring of Fire in Cold War. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be anywhere near as good as it was in Cold War, so I have quickly reverted to Frost Blast. I've been using Frost Blast quite a bit, but I have heard from a couple of people that Ether Shroud is the way to go, so maybe I'm going to try a few games with Ether Shroud today and see how that is. But yeah, even though we don't have the round-based mode, there are elements in this game mode that I believe are similar. They're not round based, but it's like the closest we're going to get to it. I've tried to explain it on my stream a couple of times to people. I think they kind of got what I was saying. Hopefully you guys do too. But anyway, it was just little things, like for example with this mode you have the starting area, Red Star, or Stalingrad as it's called here. It's called Red Star in the multiplayer map. And you can kind of just take your time around there, you know, kill a few zombies that spawn, and sometimes you'll kill them, other ones will respawn. You can go and grab your perks, just do little bits and bobs. You're limited, but, you know, it's kind of open worldy. And then you go off and do your side objectives. And even though these are objectives and, you know, you normally will play them and you are kind of restricted with what you can do, with a couple of the objectives, particularly Harvest and Transmit, you can actually hold those objectives. So just don't end them, don't complete them, and kind of farm zombies and stuff that way. So I find that by doing that, by holding that objective and then it being just inactive, just there pending, waiting to be completed or whatever, you are essentially then just on the map waiting for them to filter in and kill them. And in a way, it's just that's like the closest thing I see in this to round-based zombies. It isn't round-based zombies because obviously you're stuck on the same round because you are stuck in the objective. That round isn't going to go up till you complete it. I do see it more in the Stalingrad like spawn area that you return to through rounds is more that way, because especially as the rounds go higher, you get a lot more zombies spawning in that area. And because the map is completely open up as opposed to this Transmit objective where you're in a limited space, it does feel more like an open map you can go around with. Same with the Harvest objective as well, with the runes. With that one, it's kind of similar. You can hold the objective, but the map is pretty much completely open, unlike Transmit. So yeah, either one of those two are like the closest things to round base as of yet, but hopefully we'll get something else introduced later on down the line. And in terms of the objectives, we do only have 3 at launch of the game. So as I said, we got Harvest, we got Transmit, we got Blitz. It could become repetitive with time. It may have already become repetitive for some people, but me personally, between playing multiplayer on this game and zombies alongside each other, it's kind of keeping this fresh for me a bit longer, because with Cold War, I kind of was straight up just hammering zombies most days, which was okay because I feel like, you know, we got quite a lot out of that. But with this, if I wasn't interested in the multiplayer and I was literally just playing the zombies solidly like I did in Cold War, I don't know how quickly I would get bored of just doing the same thing. So I'm kind of lucky that I am enjoying the multiplayer a lot and I can just dip and dive between the two. But I am still enjoying the objectives regardless of saying that. Like, I'm not bored of them. I actually enjoy doing them. There's none that I'm really like, oh, I get, and I'm a bit like, can't be bothered with this one. With Outbreak, I ended up having some favorites, some I didn't like. And with this at the moment, all 3 of them, I'm just like, yeah, they're cool. I don't mind doing them. I enjoy them. And one of the things I was curious about as well before the game actually come out was the Pack-a-Punch price increase, the first tier from 5k to 7.5k. But honestly, I haven't even really noticed that. There's been a couple of times I've seen 5k and I've gone, oh, I can go and Pack-a-Punch, and then I get there and I'm like, oh wait, it's gone up. But I'm kind of used to it like now, so it's no biggie. With the perks as well, there's a new perk system as well where the first tier is actually free once you unlock that part on the map anyway, on this base map, or you get an objective that just takes you into that location and the perk happens to be there and you've not got it yet. But when it first come out, there was a couple of times I'd unlock the area and the perk machine would be there, and I'd be there in my head thinking I had to get money before I go and buy it, and then I'd be forgetting, no, the base perk is free. So as soon as you unlock that area, you can just go and buy it straight away. You won't have to spend any points, and you're only going to have to spend points to then upgrade it further. So yeah, all the perks can be purchased immediately and then further upgraded 3 times. And the 5 perks we have at the moment, I'm so bad for just calling these by their old names, even though some of the perks don't even like necessarily do what they say, but I'm just like stuck in my old ways. So if you watch my streams, you'll hear me call them the old names all the time, but these are actually the new ones. So we've got Fiendish Fortitude, which it just increases your health, and it's the red icon. So that's, I just call that Chug still. Ethereal Haste, which boosts your movement speed, which is the orange icon. Again, I just call it stamina up. Diabolical Damage, which increases critical damage. So that's your yellow icon. And I still call that dead shot, but it doesn't even snap to their heads like dead shot does. So it isn't like a true dead shot. But again, I'm just stuck in my ways. Venomous Vigor, that boosts your regen speed. So that's the blue icon, which again, I call quick revive. So in Cold War, we did have, you know, an aspect of quick revive being that your health regened. However, the actual quick revive aspect of like reviving your teammates and stuff quicker is completely gone from this perk. And then the last one is Demonic Frenzy, which boosts your reload speed. That's the green icon there. And yeah, that's the one I just typically call Speed Caller. And they're the 5 base perks that we have. Just like pretty much your standard perks, like the essentials I would class them as anyway. So I'm pretty happy with that, just for being at launch anyway, having the essentials there. You know, I couldn't ask for more than that, and I'm sure more will be introduced over time with the game, so I'm excited to see what happens. Right, so one of the new things as well I wanted to talk about was the Covenants. So the Covenants are actually like these new abilities that randomize, and you can pick from 3 after you've done an objective, and they range from like ammo mods that we had in, you know, previous games to just other new abilities as well. And yeah, as I say, you get an option of 3 every time you come back. You've got to use one of your sacrificial hearts, so you get those from doing the objective. And then yeah, you pick what you want. And Treyarch have said that this is a way that they're, you know, hoping to like make games a bit more replayable and be able to set up games differently and try out different covenants and have a different, you know, different experience in different games. At the moment, I can say I've used a good few variety of covenants. I think there's 11 that I know of anyway, and they all have obviously a variety of different tiers. So they have like a normal rare tier, which is the blue one, the epic, which is the purple one, and then the legendary, which is the like yellowy gold one. And obviously as the tiers go up, it's the same covenant does like the same effect, but as the rarity goes up, it just gets better and better in terms of what it does. And yeah, so far this has been a cool new feature that has been, you know, fun to try out and see which ones are good. And some of them are particularly useful for certain camos as well. One of the actual camos for zombies is getting kills with the help of like, you know, covenant abilities. So yeah, definitely something you should check out when playing this mode. And try not to forget to go to the altar of covenants and check in between rounds what's actually there, because sometimes I just rush back, you know, pack my gun or whatever, get perks, kill zombies or whatever, I get caught up doing that, and then I go to my objective and I'm like, oh my god, I could have used my heart then, and yeah, I've just buggered off. So yeah, try and remember to go to the altar after you've done an objective with your heart, because it randomizes each time and you could get something really good. Right, so the map in general as a whole, like Duranfang itself, it consists of like several maps, some of which I've also played in multiplayer as well, so we've got a bit of a mix up. Red Star, the multiplayer map, is actually this map like here, Stalingrad, that you can see on screen at the moment. So that's where you spawn in, but also where you return to after every objective. This map's cool. I'm pretty familiar with it now, you know, after playing it for a week, and I pretty much know where everything is and stuff. It isn't hard to figure out. It seems big initially when you first come in, but once you've played it a few times, you'll pretty much figure out where everything is. And then there's all these other like maps that you can teleport to as part of the side objectives that you do. So yeah, some from multiplayer as well, like Hotel Royale, and then we've got like the classic Swamps of Shino Numa as well, that a lot of you are probably already familiar with, and definitely appeals to the likes of people like me who just love all the old nostalgic zombie stuff. And in terms of guns, I haven't really, again, experimented with too much. Done the MP40 and STG, got them both gold, again, pretty much the same as multiplayer. I'm trying to get them both done side by side. But there have been a couple of things that have been like random drops and stuff that I've picked up and experimented with, and I've definitely been told to try out the shotguns. So yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to try and do soon. Apparently it's the closest thing to a wonder weapon we have in zombies right now. So yeah, that's another thing, lack of wonder weapon. I really wish we could have even just got like the ray gun or something, even if they just didn't have time to make like a new one. I wish they could have just given us that. I would have been happy with that, you know, but it is what it is. I'm sure we'll see one at some point in the future. I'm hearing that multiplayer as well is apparently a lot better in terms of earning XP to like level up guns and stuff. I have played both, and I can say like personally it feels like when I play multiplayer I do level up stuff a bit quicker, but then with zombies, you know, there are really great ways to, you know, farm camos and stuff. I'm hoping, if it is true that multiplayer gives off more XP, that it's something that will be fixed in the future, because I remember when Cold War came out there was a problem initially where multiplayer was earning a lot more XP compared to zombies, but they did end up fixing that. So if that is the case, hopefully we'll see a fix for that sometime soon. And I think the final thing I'd like to mention, which is probably like my biggest pet peeve of this game so far, you know, I actually enjoying the game quite a bit. You've probably seen, you know, mixed reviews of what people have said online, but me personally, you know, as I said, I've enjoyed the multiplayer. I'm enjoying the zombies, but one thing I cannot understand is the lack of the option to pause in this game. I just find it so essential to be able to do that, and especially as like anyone who streams will understand, like, you know, there might be critical moments you need to go and pause. Like I know me especially, like will go and pause to go and like get a drink. I will maybe get a snack, need to go to the bathroom. Like sometimes someone will just come in and I want to chat to them about something, so I'll pause and just have a catch up. There's so many reasons why it is a very handy feature to have. You know, some people who go for like high rounds may not essentially want to like do it all in one sitting. They like to pause and then come back to their game later on. And I think a lot of people are just very, very confused why we don't have one, especially with the fact that now, because the zombies mode are running on like these certain servers. Honestly, I don't know much about it. I did read about it, but I couldn't tell you what it said word for word. But anyway, they're on like these dedicated servers or whatever, which means you get kicked for inactivity after 3 minutes, I think it is. So for example, on my stream the other day, someone had came in, I was playing my game, I came in and then I hadn't seen this person for a while, so I was like, oh my god, how have you been, you know, and we was chatting, having a little catch up, and before I knew it, literally a couple of minutes later, well 3 minutes later, my game, like the screen just went off. It looked like if you'd crash or something, and I was like, has my game crashed? And then next thing, the little message popped up on the screen saying kick for inactivity, and I was like, no. So you can't pause, but you can't also just like chill somewhere either, because the game will kick you for inactivity. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, I really hope they do fix this soon. I know there's been a lot of people who've been very vocal about this on Twitter and stuff, and I'm pretty sure the devs will have seen what people have been saying. So hopefully there will be a pause button in the game at some point soon. So yeah, I think like as a like mini brief conclusion to this, I'm enjoying the game. I've played it every single day since it launched last week, a week today, and I've played both the zombies and the multiplayer. As I said, still yet to play the campaign, but I have heard good things, so I'm looking forward to that. I just need to pick a day to like set some time aside and just do it. I'm loving the variety of the maps on the multiplayer, the weapons available. I feel like with this multiplayer, you know, I have no problem sitting down and playing it sometimes for like 5-6 hours straight, whereas with Cold War I could maybe play the multiplayer like for a couple of hours most before I'd be like raging and just be like, oh, I give up. So that's definitely a nice change. Zombies, I think it is a great core, like a new zombies mode. You know what I mean? I like what they've set up. I like the idea of it. Created the great foundation for this mode to be set, but now they just need to build on it a bit more. And I'm sure when they do, in due time, I'm sure we've got an update coming. I think it's the 2nd of December. You know, I'm just excited to see what happens then. I'm sure it's got great potential. I feel like it's got great potential anyway. And I am honestly really excited to see where it goes. I've had a few people come into chat and, you know, also say to me after asking what my like thoughts and opinions are, like if they should buy it. And I always kind of feel like, you know, I can't tell someone what to buy and what to do. But obviously I can like advise or whatever if they want me to. So I would just say, like, if you are maybe like a big time zombies fan or whatever, and you are buying this for like zombies alone, just don't expect it to be like anything you've played in the past, unless I say, you know, you've had experiences on Outbreak or whatever. That's probably like the closest thing you're going to find to it. I wouldn't want you to get it expecting, you know, BO1, BO2, BO3 and then it's this. Do you know what I mean? So as long as you kind of know what you're going into and maybe, you know, watch some gameplay on YouTube or watch some streams and just kind of get a vibe for it first, just to kind of get an idea and see if you'd like it. You know, there's always no rush to get it either. If you see it and love it, you know, buy it at all means. But if you look at it now and you're like, oh, I'm not too sure, maybe just wait till, you know, we have the update at December 2nd and see what gets added to it. We've also got, you know, like Christmas coming up and Black Friday and whatever. I don't know if it'll be about in the sales, but you might be able to pick it up a bit cheaper there if, you know, you're not too sure and don't want to commit the full price. And yeah, despite being more of a round-based zombies player myself, I am still enjoying this, and I did enjoy Outbreak and Cold War too. I'm not going to say that like Outbreak and Duran Fong I prefer to round-based by any means. You know, round-based is where it all started, and I just don't think anything can compare to that, especially for a lot of the nostalgic players who have played for a long time. But I still really enjoy this mode, and you know, it is nice to see something new, especially after what they did with Outbreak and Cold War. I think that did excite a lot of people, seeing just, you know, a whole new zombies kind of mode to that extent, how big it was. So I think with this, they've wanted to kind of bring that back, but the difference with Cold War and Outbreak is we also had round-based maps alongside that. Was with this, we don't have that option currently, and I think that's why they've tried to, you know, integrate little bits of round base, like I was saying earlier on in the video, just certain elements of being able to kind of set it up in here and there. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's the closest I've kind of figured out to playing in that style. So yeah, if you're getting this just for the zombies, as I said, I'd just do your research. However, if you know that you're going to play the campaign and, you know, you're maybe going to be on the multiplayer a lot as well, you're going to put a lot of time into that because you're interested in that also, then I would say it probably is worth getting. You know, me, I don't regret getting it at all. I've played it, as I say, every single day. I'm not bored of it yet. I'm on the multiplayer, I'm on the zombies, I will be on the campaign. And I'm really happy with the game so far. I really, really am. So if you are interested in all aspects of what the game has to offer, I do think it is a good buy, and I would recommend it. But if you are only getting it for a certain, you know, specific aspect of it, maybe just make sure that's going to be enough to occupy you for the time being. But yeah, I've tried to cover as much as I can in this. Honestly, there probably is way more I could say. But yeah, I've tried to cover as much as I can here. I probably could have gone on for like way longer, but I didn't want this video to go on too long and be too boring. So if anyone does have any questions or anything they'd like to ask, or maybe, you know, want an update in a month's time about how I feel about the game, then feel free to let me know in the comments, or even stop by my Twitch stream, which is just the same name as my YouTube name, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. So yeah, I hope you're all enjoying Vanguard, and I'm hoping to make quite a few videos on Vanguard, fingers crossed. So hopefully I will be back soon with another video for you guys. So yeah, see you guys then. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching this video.